Scene script. Have you ever wondered why people act the way they do? Imagine being able to decipher the intricate labyrinth that is the human mind, to be able to understand the underpinnings of our actions, our decisions, and our interactions. This is the world of human behavior, a universe so complex and yet so captivating. In this fascinating realm, every action has a purpose, every decision is influenced by myriad factors, and every interaction is a dance of subtle cues and signals. We're going to delve into this world, exploring some intriguing psychological facts about human behavior. Our journey will take us through the power of first impressions, the influence of color on mood, the impact of music on productivity, and the role of body language in communication. But why is it essential to understand human behavior? Well, it's simple. By understanding why people act the way they do, we gain insights into our own actions and decisions. We learn to communicate more effectively, we become better at interpreting others' actions, and we can even influence behavior to some extent. It's important to note that the information we'll be sharing in this video is based on credible research studies. The field of psychology, like any other scientific discipline, relies on rigorous research and empirical evidence. So, rest assured that the insights you'll gain from this video are not mere conjectures or assumptions, but grounded in solid scientific evidence. We'll be your guides on this journey into the intricate world of human behavior, helping you navigate through the complex web of psychological facts. And while we can't promise to unravel all the mysteries of the human mind, we can certainly guarantee a fascinating journey. So, are you ready? Ready to journey into the depths of the human mind? Because, as the famous psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." Let's awaken together to the intriguing complexity of human behavior. Did you know that it takes just a tenth of a second for us to judge someone and make our first impression? Yes, you heard that right. Not even a full second, but a mere fraction. In that fleeting moment, our brains quickly process the visual cues before us, and we form an initial perception of someone's trustworthiness, competence, and likability. This phenomenon is not merely anecdotal, it's a fact, backed by scientific research conducted by psychologists at Princeton University. In these studies, participants were shown images of unfamiliar faces for a fraction of a second, and were asked to make judgments about their characteristics. The results were fascinating. Even with such brief exposure, participants' assessments were consistent. They tended to agree on who seemed trustworthy, competent, or likable. But here's the kicker. These snap judgments were not just consistent, they were surprisingly accurate. When these first impressions were compared with information known about the individuals in the images, there was a significant correlation. This discovery has profound implications for our daily interactions. It suggests that our first impressions are not just knee-jerk reactions, but rather, they could offer valuable insights. But it's crucial to remember that while first impressions can be surprisingly accurate, they're not infallible. We must ensure that we don't let these initial judgments cloud our perception and prevent us from getting to know someone on a deeper level. After all, people are complex, and it takes more than a tenth of a second to fully understand someone. So, what does this mean for us? It underscores the importance of presenting ourselves in the best possible light from the get-go. Whether it's a job interview, a first date, or meeting your partner's parents for the first time, those initial moments matter. But it also reminds us to approach others with an open mind. While our brains are wired to make quick judgments, we must strive to see beyond our first impressions and discover the rich complexity that lies beneath the surface. So the next time you meet someone, remember that first impressions count. What if the colors around you could influence your mood and behavior? Sounds like a question for a superhero comic book, doesn't it? But this is not science fiction, but science fact. Let's dive into the fascinating world of color psychology. Colors are not just pretty spectacles for our eyes, they can have profound effects on our emotions and actions. Research studies have consistently found links between color and our mood. For instance, the color blue is often associated with feelings of calm and peace. It's no wonder then that many of us find a clear blue sky or the deep blue sea so soothing. On the other hand, the color red is commonly linked with energy, passion, and sometimes even anger. Ever wondered why stop signs and fire trucks are red? That's because red is a color that demands our attention and triggers a sense of urgency. And it's not just about individual colors. The combination of colors can also influence our mood. Picture a sunset with its warm hues of oranges, pinks, and purples. Such a mix of colors often evokes a sense of tranquility and awe. Now, you might be wondering, how is this information used in our everyday lives? Well, marketers and interior designers have been leveraging color psychology for years. Have you noticed how fast food chains predominantly use red and yellow in their branding? These colors are known to stimulate appetite and create a sense of urgency, respectively. On the other hand, hospitals and spas often use a lot of white or light blue, colors associated with cleanliness, calmness, and healing. In our homes too, we can use color to our advantage. Want to create a calming atmosphere in your bedroom? Try a soft blue or green. Need an energy boost in your home office? A touch of orange might do the trick. The world is a colorful place, and it seems our brains are wired to respond to it in fascinating ways. So next time you choose a paint color or an outfit, remember, you're not just making a visual choice but potentially influencing your mood and behavior. Ever find yourself more productive when listening to your favorite tunes? It's not just your imagination. There's a whole body of research out there that has delved into the fascinating relationship between music and productivity. Let's look at a study conducted by Dr. Lasiuk from the University of Miami. Her research showed that those who listened to music completed their tasks more quickly and came up with better ideas than those who didn't. It turns out, music, particularly the music we enjoy, can make us more creative and efficient. However, not all music is created equal when it comes to boosting productivity. The genre can play a crucial role. For instance, classical music, with its lack of lyrics and soothing melodies, can enhance mental performance. This phenomenon, known as the Mozart effect, suggests that listening to Mozart can temporarily boost one's spatial-temporal reasoning, a key aspect of problem-solving. On the other hand, complex music like heavy metal can be distracting due to its fast tempo and intense lyrics. So, if you're working on a task that requires deep focus, you might want to skip the Metallica and go for some Bach instead. And then there's the role of familiarity. Music that we're familiar with, that we've listened to over and over again, can be less distracting. This is because our brains aren't working overtime to process new melodies and lyrics, so your favorite playlist might just be your secret productivity weapon. But it's not just about the type of music. Volume matters too. Moderate volume levels are best for promoting creative thinking, while high volumes can be overstimulating. So the next time you need to get something done, consider putting on some music. Whether it's Mozart, the Beatles, or even white noise, the right soundtrack could make all the difference to your productivity. Just remember, what works best is often what you enjoy most. Music is not a one-size-fits-all solution, but rather a tool to be adjusted according to the task at hand. Did you know that body language can say more than words? Yes, indeed. When it comes to communication, your posture, gestures, facial expressions, and even the way you hold your gaze can speak volumes. This form of communication, also known as nonverbal communication, plays a critical role in human interaction. Imagine you're at a gathering and you see someone across the room. They're slouched, arms crossed, and their gaze is fixed on the floor. Even without a single word, it's clear they're not in the mood for conversation. Conversely, if they're standing tall, smiling, and their eyes are scanning the room, they're likely open to mingling. These are just a few examples of how body language can convey messages louder than words. But how significant is body language in communication? Well, according to a study by Dr. Albert Mehrabian, a pioneer in the field of nonverbal communication, up to 93% of communication effectiveness is determined by nonverbal cues. This is a staggering figure when you consider how much emphasis is often placed on spoken words. Body language is not just about interpreting others, but also about how we present ourselves. Are your arms often crossed? That could signal defensiveness. Are you constantly fidgeting? That might be seen as nervousness. Do you maintain eye contact when speaking? That's often perceived as confidence. By understanding the messages our bodies send, we can consciously adjust our body language to communicate more effectively. Of course, it's important to remember that body language can vary across different cultures and contexts. What might be considered a sign of respect in one culture could be seen as rude in another. Therefore, understanding cultural nuances is key to correctly interpreting body language. In conclusion, body language is a powerful tool in communication. It can reveal emotions and attitudes, complement or contradict verbal messages, and even influence perceptions. So, the next time you're communicating, be mindful of your body language. It could be telling a story that your words are not. Remember, your body language is speaking even when you're silent. So, what do you communicate?